office in 1978. Is there one thing that sticks out in your mind as maybe a problem that you had to face that was different than maybe any of your predecessors?
Yeah, something that I faced, and I was real pleased when I was campaigning for my mayor's job. Trash was everywhere in the city. The city had $125,000, I think, set aside in the sanitation budget, and they did the best they could with it. But they couldn't pick up garbage and trash. They pick up the garbage and they would leave the trash. When I decided to advertise for a garbage company to pick it up in 3 or 4 weeks, the city was clean. And we had ditches on each side of the 2 lanes on Robert Road you could bury a car in.
Sure.
We widened them and we put a bike path on one side and walk sidewalks on the other.
Are you excited?
Oh, sure. I'm excited. I'm nervous. A bit afraid. I mean, all those things. If I don't think you'd be sane if you weren't.
You know, you say you're a bit afraid. I was terrified. F.M. Pierce was a nice guy running against me and Bob Lawrence, and I got 76%. And that sounds good, but it's scary because they expect you to do something terrific.
Right.
I'm terrified. I really was.
If each of you had a word of advice for the mayor-elect, what would you say?
Ben Morris mentioned it earlier. I wouldn't tell him a whole lot of anything. I think he's got a good background. He's knows what he's doing, and he's going to do a fine job. It's going to be a tough job, and it's going to be every day tough, and he's got to hang in there.
How about you, Mayor Sam?
I would tell him 2 things. Be true to yourself and have some fun with it.
What would you say, Mayor Ben? What would you offer to
Surround
Mayor-elect?
yourself with people smarter than you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't micromanage.
Mayor Drennan, what would be your words of advice to our fair mayor-elect?
Very simple. Don't have to make decisions every day. Make decisions that affect the masses.
Yep.
Because no matter what decision you make, you're not going to make everybody happy.
That's right.
Okay.
This auditorium, when we put the design out, I could have been trampled to death, and no one would have cared. Okay, except, and it was like you said, some small groups that said, "Oh, this is horrible." You know,
What do you, when you leave office here in a couple of days, what do you think is going to be your lasting footprint? Is there one thing that people look back and say, we can thank Mayor Drennan for that?
I have no idea what they're going to think, Andy.
I'll tell you what they're going to think.
What's that?
In my mind, it's the $100 million worth of construction projects, Katrina money, that came in after the fact, after everybody else had pretty much shut down. He restored all the infrastructure on the south side of town.
Yeah.
This administration
That's true.
and this council.
That is what it's going to be.
And that's
There's no doubt.
that's what the legacy is going to be.
The former mayor is always interested in seeing that his city is doing well, whoever the incumbent mayor is, and willing to help, you know. It's certainly been true for me, and I suspect it's true for these 4. And as for the new one, I got to tell you, you printed me one. I thank God Almighty he won that race. I do.
There you go. It's a nice endorsement.
Yes, it is.